The Russian sleep experiment is a popular horror story that has been circulating on the internet for years. It is a tale of a gruesome experiment that took place in the Soviet Union in the 1940s, during the height of Stalin's regime. According to the story, a group of researchers conducted an experiment on 5 prisoners, using a powerful gas to keep them awake for 15 days straight. The experiment quickly spiraled out of control, resulting in a horrific and disturbing end for all involved. The story begins in 1940s Soviet Russia, where a group of researchers were conducting experiments on sleep deprivation. The Soviet Union was at the height of Stalin's regime, and the government was interested in finding new ways to break down and control the minds of their enemies. The researchers, led by a man named Sergei S. Bryukhanenko, developed a powerful gas that they believed could keep a person awake for weeks on end. To test their hypothesis, the researchers selected 5 prisoners, all political dissidents who had been sentenced to death. They were promised their freedom if they agreed to participate in the experiment. The prisoners were sealed in a chamber, given the gas, and monitored around the clock by the researchers. At first, everything seemed to be going according to plan. The prisoners were able to stay awake for several days straight, and the researchers were able to gather valuable data on the effects of sleep deprivation. But as the days wore on, things began to take a dark turn. The prisoners became increasingly agitated and paranoid, and their behavior became erratic and disturbing. They began to hallucinate and experience intense mood swings, often lashing out at each other and the researchers. The researchers noted that their subjects were displaying signs of extreme psychosis, but they continued to press on with the experiment. By the 10th day, the prisoners had completely lost touch with reality. They no longer spoke to each other or the researchers, instead choosing to whisper to themselves incoherently. They would occasionally break out into fits of violence, smashing their heads against the walls or tearing at their own flesh. On the 15th day, the researchers decided to end the experiment. When they entered the chamber, however, they were met with a horrifying sight. The prisoners had completely mutilated themselves, tearing off their own flesh and organs in an attempt to escape the nightmare they had been living in. They had also refused to be put back to sleep by the gas and were begging to be kept awake. The researchers immediately attempted to sedate the prisoners, but they were so delirious and out of control that they had to be forcibly restrained. They were taken to a medical facility, but all 5 prisoners died within hours of being removed from the chamber. The cause of their deaths was listed as acute organ failure, but the researchers knew the truth. Their subjects had been driven to madness by the sleep deprivation experiment. The story of the Russian sleep experiment has become a popular urban legend and has been shared widely on the internet. While there is no evidence to support the claim that such an experiment ever took place, the story remains a chilling reminder of the dangers of sleep deprivation and the ethical implications of scientific research.